Texas Tech football had their next chance to secure a victory and work their way towards a postseason appearance in a rare Thursday night showdown at the Jones. Coming up, MCTV's Mia Fletcher has the details on Texas Tech versus TCU.
The spooky season officially came to a close last week, but not before students could enjoy some more scary fun. Find out how some Red Raiders had a chance to show off their creativity and take home a special keepsake to mark the haunted holiday.
And the next set of master chefs that will be taking over restaurants around the world may get their start right here in the Hub City. We'll show you how one group of Red Raiders is going beyond the classroom to get some hands-on experience and give you the chance to taste the results.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Monday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Cooper Beaumariage.
And I'm Luke Johnson. For the second time in 5 years, the Texas Tech football team took on a Big 12 opponent on national TV on a Thursday night.
And also for the second time in 5 years, Tech's Thursday night opponent was TCU. But could the team also repeat a victory against TCU under the Thursday night lights? MCTV Sports' Mia Fletcher joins us now in the studio with a look back at last week's game. Mia?
Thanks, Cooper and Luke. Texas Tech football defeated TCU this past Thursday to reclaim the Saddle Trophy back to West Texas. The win now puts the Red Raiders at number 8 in the Big 12 and gives them a conference record of 3-3. With only a few conference games left, Texas Tech will have to have a very strong ending to their season in order to keep their bowl game dreams alive. Coming up later in sports, I'll have a recap of a very fulfilling week in Texas Tech athletics and some important future events for the Scarlet and Black. Back to you, Luke.
Thanks, Mia. With Tech football off the schedule for the weekend, several campus groups took advantage of an open Friday night to offer some non-sports alternatives. On Friday evening, members of the university's Greek community gathered at the Phi Kappa Psi Lodge for their first ever Greek Circle worship night. Phi Psi and the Beta Upsilon Chi, or Bucks fraternities, hosted the event. Members of Indiana Avenue Baptist Church's The Way worship ministry led attendees in song, and IABC college minister Travis Bailey spoke to those gathered outside behind the lodge. IABC, along with several other local religious ministries, took part in Friday's event to help show a different side of Greek life.
We had a couple different churches that came out to help with prayer requests and everything like that and help them get connected with the church. But overall, it's just kind of a night to let people know that people in Greek life are people of faith as well.
Even though Friday's Greek Circle worship night was the first of its kind held at the Phi Psi Lodge, organizers hope to host more events in the future. Friday's event was also open to more than just the Greek community, with any student invited to attend.
With the month of November underway, students are now preparing to register for spring and summer classes. But before registration officially opened this week, one department hosted an annual event to help Red Raiders explore options for their academic future. The 2023 edition of the Majors and Minors Fair took place last Tuesday in the Sub Ballroom. The annual fair is organized each fall by the Department of Student Engagement. The fair features representatives from all of the university's colleges, giving attendees a chance to explore potential major and minor options. Advisors, professors, and even current students from dozens of departments were on hand to help answer questions and give information on course offerings and career opportunities. Last week's fair just happened to fall on Halloween, but according to Student Engagement Director Megan Ullman, that was not by design.
It's not on purpose, although the very first time that we kind of transitioned from the idea of just an all majors fair to the majors and minors M&M fair, it was also on Halloween, so it kind of helped us really lean into that candy theme. And this year it's just fun, and so it works out really great with how course registration is too.
All attendees of this year's Majors and Minors Fair had the chance to grab some free treats from a candy bar set up in the Red Raider Lounge. Students could also grab a free t-shirt along with all the free swag that was available from the booths in the ballroom. Although the Majors and Minors Fair is only held in the fall, Student Engagement is already planning a similar event called the Ready, Set, Register Fair for the spring.
Over the weekend, the South Plains area experienced mild conditions, with highs climbing up to 80 degrees from Friday through Sunday.
Although the conditions made for a nice few days, it's still been a bit warmer than normal here in the Hub City. But could fall weather return soon? MCTV weather specialist Elisabeth Herring joins us now with a look at the forecast. Elisabeth?
Yeah, so looking at our MCTV tower cam, you can see it's a bright, beautiful day outside, and students may have noticed walking to class this morning that it was a little bit sunnier than normal. That is because we did have the time change this past Sunday, so the sun will be rising earlier as well as setting earlier in the day. We also had some warm weather this weekend, and that warm weather is going to continue for the beginning of this week. Today we have the potential to set a record high, with our highs being in the upper 80s. Back in 1975 we had a record high of 85. Today it looks like we are going to top that. Definitely not the fall weather we were expecting for this week, but we will see some fall weather rolling later this week with a cool front. Looking at the highs for the area, some places potentially seeing 90 degrees, Turkey 90 degrees, Matador 90 degrees. Mostly 80 degrees across the South Plains, Friona 86, definitely warmer temperatures than we were expecting this time of year. Looking at the lows for the area, lows in the 50s across the South Plains, definitely chilly weather, but nothing like we've been seeing with the freezing temperatures this past week. Looking at our low for tonight, low of 53, clear sky, not very windy tonight and no chances of rain. Tomorrow, high of 88 degrees, potentially we could see 90 degrees. We will be breaking that record. It will be a very warm day outside. Definitely not the fall-like temperatures, again, we were expecting, but we will see some more cool weather rolling later this week. Looking at the rest of this week, Wednesday we are continuing with the warm weather with a high of 84. Thursday is when that cool front begins, and we do have the potential also for some rain chances on Thursday. Looking ahead, Friday, high of 57, Saturday, high of 59. Sunday and Monday, we warm up a little bit with our highs in the 60s. No chances of rain for that portion of the week, and we should see the fall weather continue throughout the weekend and early into next week. Just as a reminder, we did have the time change this past weekend, so the sun will be setting around 5:50 today, and that will only continue to set earlier as we head into the winter season. I'm Elizabeth, and it's back to y'all.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Last week, the Texas Tech campus celebrated one of the most spirited times of the year with Halloween on Tuesday and the Day of the Dead on Wednesday and Thursday. Both holidays included on-campus activities for the Tech community. On Halloween, the Student Activities Board hosted their final spooky event of the season in the sub-courtyard. Students could show their ID and then dig through a box to select a pumpkin for decorating. SAB provided paints, brushes, and other supplies to allow students the chance to create a haunted keepsake to celebrate the scariest night of the year. Tuesday's activity started at 11 a.m. with 300 pumpkins up for grabs.
So far it's been pretty slow, but it has been pretty good. We have about almost 80 people show up, so pretty big for us, honestly, for daytime, especially when kids are going out and from classes.
Decorated Pumpkin was just one of SAB's many fun and free events taking place this fall. SAB also offered free admission to Nightmare on 19th and The Maze on 2 separate nights during the spooky season. But the fun isn't finished yet. Tonight, SAB is headed to Adventure Park for a night of free fun. Students with a Tech ID can head down the Marcia Sharp Freeway and grab a free game pass and unlimited access to any other activity except the zipline and ropes course. Free admission to Adventure Park will be available from 6 to 9 p.m., but if you can't make it out this evening, you can check out the remaining events on the Student Activity Board's fall calendar by visiting sab.ttu.edu.
Once Halloween came to an end, a celebration of another holiday with supernatural connections began. Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead, is a traditional Mexican holiday that has been become increasingly popular in the U.S. and late last week. Texas Tech honored the tradition with a special event here on campus. On Friday, the Office of International Affairs invited the public to the International Cultural Center for Dia de los Muertos celebration. The event featured traditional activities along with food and music. Attendees had the chance to make Day of the Dead themed crafts or even have their face painted with imagery commonly seen during the holiday. Attendees also had the chance to learn more about the annual holiday that honors and remembers loved ones that have passed away.
So we're celebrating El Dia de los Muertos here at the Cultural Center, and it is a community celebration. So a lot of different people from all over the community are here, not only to celebrate, but to showcase different things that have to do with the celebration, like creating the Sugar Skull. We have mariachis playing, we have Ballet Folklorico from Bean Elementary dancing.
Texas Tech's Dia de los Muertos celebration was a part of the annual Day of the Dead procession, which takes place at several locations around the city. This year's procession also included the Buddy Holly Center and the Louise Hopkins Underwood Center for the Arts, which were also part of this month's First Friday Art Trail.
As we mentioned earlier, the Texas Tech football team had the weekend off after taking on TCU at the Jones in a rare Thursday night showdown.
But Red Raider football was just one Texas Tech team making headlines over the weekend. MCTV's Mia Fletcher joins us again with a full look at the latest from Tech athletics and sports. Mia?
Thanks, Luke and Cooper. Texas Tech football fans are starting to lose hope in finding the light at the end of the tunnel after 2 straight losses to Kansas State and BYU. But thankfully, the light shined bright after the very important bye week and a stellar game from the Red Raiders last Thursday. The Red Raiders had a victorious night after defeating the Horned Frogs 35-28 here at Jones Stadium. Texas Tech came out strong with something to prove against the former national champion runner-up. Baron Morton made his return against the Horned Frogs after being sidelined against BYU from a sprained shoulder injury. His return was a successful one as he led the Red Raiders to victory, going 28 for 36 for a 77.8 completion percentage, and he threw for 282 yards, including 2 touchdowns. Tech did 2 things better than they've done all year, according to head coach Joey McGuire. They didn't turn the ball over, and they caused turnovers. Taj Brooks had himself yet another big game after running for 146 yards on 31 carries. This accomplishment makes it his 6th 100-yard game this season to become the first Texas Tech running back to surpass 1,000 yards in a single season since DeAndre Washington in 2015. The game ended with Dadrian Taylor Demerson's 2nd interception of the night in the final minute to clinch the win. But let's all be real. The star of the show was Mr. Possum that decided to run onto the field in the middle of the game. I mean, he just wanted a chance to be part of the victory too, right? The Red Raiders will be preparing this week to travel to Lawrence, Kansas to face their next opponent, Kansas. Kickoff will be Saturday at 11 a.m. The past few weeks have been tough for the Texas Tech volleyball team as they headed into the weekend with a conference record of just 1-10 and a 10-game losing streak. The Red Raiders took on the number 21 nationally ranked Baylor Bears this past Saturday at the United Supermarkets Arena. Senior Day didn't go as hoped as the Red Raiders dropped all 3 sets and a sweep loss. Though graduate senior Caitlin Dugan did have a fantastic game as she led all players on the floor with 14 kills, a .333 hitting clip, and tacked on 3 blocks for Tech. Williams and Carrera both recorded double-digit digs, and setters Reese Rhodes and Caitlin Cochran both led the team in assists. Texas Tech is currently 0-9 when playing away, but will host the West Virginia Mountaineers on Thursday at 6 p.m. and Friday at 3 p.m. in the United Supermarkets Arena for a chance to snap their losing streak in conference play. One program has had a very eventful past few weeks. The Red Raider soccer team claimed the program's first Big 12 regular season title and then moved on to the Big 12 tournament. Texas Tech defeated Cincinnati 2-1 in the quarterfinals after a free kick off of Sam Courtright to Hannah Anderson and a last-minute shot by senior Giselle Kazarski to propel them into the semifinals against Texas. The highly anticipated match ended in a 1-0 shutout to give the number 4 ranked Red Raiders their first loss of the season and first shutout since a 1-0 loss in the 2022 Big 12 tournament quarterfinals. Texas Tech will now set their sights on the 2023 NCAA tournament as the Red Raiders are expected to earn a top 3 national seed for the first time in program history. The annual selection show can be streamed live on the NCAA.com, and the NCAA tournament will begin on Friday. Basketball season is officially upon us, and the Red Raiders and Lady Raiders have been non-stop preparing in order for the start of their seasons. And so far, it looks as though the preparation is paying off. The Red Raiders kicked off their preseason with a very competitive 89-84 win in an exhibition game against number 15 ranked Texas A&M. This game was an opportunity for head coach Grant McCaslin to see what his new team was made of in his first season as Texas Tech. Texas Tech sophomore Pop Isaacs went off with 6 3-pointers and 30 points in the win. Tech was 14 for 34 from beyond the arc, but they were 8 from 9 from 3 in transition, something that Coach McCaslin was very proud of. Tech will open their regular season against Texas A&M Commerce this Wednesday at 7 p.m. in the United Supermarkets Arena. As for the Lady Raiders, Coach Krista Gerlich has been working hard in the gym to prepare Texas Tech for their upcoming games. The Lady Raiders wrapped up their preseason schedule in a close loss against Northern Arizona University last Saturday afternoon at the USA. Sophomore Kila Freelon had 17 points after going 9 from 10 from the free throw line and added 14 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals and 2 blocks. Jasmine Shavers also was close to a double-double after scoring 13 points and grabbing 9 rebounds. Over 600 fans attended the game in order to help Texas Tech raise money to help fund wildfire relief efforts in Hawaii. The Lady Raiders will start their regular season hosting UTRGV tomorrow at 6 p.m. in the United Supermarkets Arena. That's all for sports today. Back to you, Luke and Cooper.
Thanks, Mia. With midterms over, many students are starting to think ahead to the finals and the end of the semester. For some, that also means the final preparation before stepping out into the real world after graduation.
Even though many classes revolve around lectures, homework, and exams, there are some unique opportunities for Red Raiders to get hands-on experience before getting their diploma. Skyview's restaurant is located on the top floor of the Texas Tech Plaza building at the intersection of 19th and University. The restaurant is staffed by students in Tech's Hospitality and Retail Management program. Skyview offers a weekday lunch buffet with a revolving menu, but students in the HRM program also have the chance to take full control of the restaurant during the weekly dinner series event held on Wednesday night. During the dinner series, the restaurant offers a themed meal with a menu that includes appetizers, entrees, and dessert. Skyview's dinner series events start about a third of the way into each semester and continue until the last day of classes. This year's menu has featured Western, Southern, and coastal cuisines, with all dishes prepared and served by students. The next dinner series event of the fall will take place Wednesday night starting at 5:30 p.m. The menu is titled Lano Bistro with a focus on local foods. For more information on the next dinner series and restaurant in general, visit skyviews.ttu.edu.
So Cooper, have you had a chance to check out the Skyviews restaurant here on campus?
I actually haven't, but it sounds really good. I'm going to have to check it out for sure.
No, yeah, it's not every day you get fine dining here in college. That's all we have for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you on Thursday.